Today we're gonna talk about should you buy Final Fantasy 15. I can't believe that we are finally talking about the game Final Fantasy 15 after 10 years in development. It started developing in 2006. Can you believe that? 2006, we are almost 2017. November is the big month for all games again. So let's see if it's worth to buy this game. I must say, I'm happy with the game. Was it worth to wait 10 years? Absolutely not. Nothing is worth to wait 10 years. But was it a good game? Absolutely. It was a great game. So, it's a game for the fans of Final Fantasy, but it's also a great game for any newcomers. It's a new story, so you don't have to know any other game of Final Fantasy. You can start from a fresh start with a new story in this new world. But for all you veterans, it's filled with Easter eggs of the old games, like music, creatures, but I'm not gonna go deeper into that. I'm gonna keep the surprise for you guys. Like many RPG, roleplay games do become boring with the grinding through the many quests. This one doesn't do that. So there are many quests. It's a really great open world where there are many side quests that you can do that for me were very fun to do. So there is a lot of things that you can do. You don't have to do anything specific in any order. You can choose what you want to do, what you don't want to do, except for the great main story, of course. The world. It's a Final Fantasy game, so we all know that it's going to look beautiful. But this time it's also fun to play. It's not boring, it's not straightforward that you can only go one options. You have many options to do. So yeah, it's not like the piece of crap that people like to call Final Fantasy 13. Many of you guys know it. I really wasn't happy with Final Fantasy 13, but luckily they learned from that and Final Fantasy 15 is great again. Now for the killing part. For all of you who are a Final Fantasy fan, this is a whole new playstyle. But for me, it felt good. It's fast, but smart. Believe me, it's not a hack and slash game like many of you guys were afraid of. The combos that you can land with your team are great. The combat felt like that of Dragon Age. I don't know if any of you guys have played Dragon Age Inquisition, but it felt a lot like that for me. So what I mean with that is that it's a fast game with a fast combat style, but that you have to think about how you're going to approach your enemy with your team. Try to use their weak points and abuse that. So a lot of tactics with action. So I don't know, a lot of you guys are not gonna be happy with that, because every time when something changes, there are people who are happy with it and some people who won't be happy with it. But yeah, that's all opinionated, but I as a player was happy with it. So it's a Japanese RPG in a world like we know it, so it's not really that much of a fantasy world. If you ride around, you're like, oh, it's quite a normal world. There are cars, normal people. But then if you go further into the story and you start to look around, you see all kind of fantasy creatures and monsters and yeah, a lot of things. So it's like a perfect mix of what you know and what the fantasy world is, and that felt really good. It's a beautiful world that you're going through on a journey with your 4 new friends. So you have the main character that you're gonna play yourself, Noctis, the prince, who I also like to call Sasuke, because they look a lot alike. Then we have the funny gun-wielding Prompto, the smart cool guy Ignis, and the brutal force of Gladiolus. So yeah, the interaction of those 4 guys is great. It felt really like going on a trip with your 4 friends The interaction and the communication between them is really funny, so it felt really good. Also, a little extra that you can do on one of your side missions is one of my favorite things that you can do in the game is ride a chocobo. Some of you guys for Final Fantasy already know the chicken-like creature chocobos, but now you can also ride them. So on places that you can't go with your car, like in the wild, you can still use the chocobo that you don't have to run, and you can even use them in combat. So that's really cool. You can even change their colors. By the way, you can also change the color of your car, so that's also cool. And not even the color, but many other things that you can do with that car. So now for some negative points. We just talked about the car. The car is looking very nice, but it's also a problem. I have been playing through the game for like 20 hours before making this video. I must say that I did put a lot of time into driving. And what I mean with driving is like sitting in the car and waiting and watching how the car is bringing me from point A to point B. A lot of you guys might like it because that's a great moment that you can enjoy and watch the world, but after doing that many times, I can't believe that all of you guys are going to enjoy that. It felt really boring for me to have to wait long roads and just sit and even doing something else in the meantime, because you're really stuck for like 6 minutes if you're not going to fast travel, and you can't even fast travel every time if you haven't been there before. So yeah, that was a great negative point for me. Of course, something else, because it's an open world, there are of course glitches, but that's something that I can forgive them because I haven't been having problem with game breaking glitches, but I even went through one of those glitches I'm going to show you guys, and it was very funny that my 4 guys were stuck in the car when we were riding it. And yeah, I don't know, let me know down below if any of you guys went through glitches that were really game breaking or maybe funny. So yeah, another problem might be the battle system, because yeah, as I said before, the battle system is new, and I know that many of you Final Fantasy fans are maybe not gonna be so happy about it because it's something new, and it's not even new, it's totally different. Because Final Fantasy was like, some of you guys played Pokemon, and Final Fantasy was just like that. So it was turn based, you choose an attack, you choose a target, then they attack you, you attack them, turn based. So that was very relaxing. So I might understand that some of the fans of that are going to be like, oh, that's not what I like to play now, because it's too much action base. It's still tactic and it's still playing smart, but yeah, it's more active than many of you guys are used to. So that might be a problem. So if you ask me, guys, should you buy it? I would say definitely. It's a really fun game to play that's gonna be worth your money, because you're gonna spend a lot of time into it and have a lot of fun with the game. I had a lot of fun with it. If you haven't been playing any Final Fantasy, this game is perfect for you. If you're afraid that you might get confused because you haven't been playing any of the games, this game, like I said before, is a whole new story in a whole new world, so the other games have nothing to do with it, so you don't have to worry about that. If you follow this story, you know everything that you need to know to complete the game. For you veterans, keep your minds open. Change can be good. The battle system is just one part of the game. It's still a Final Fantasy game. It's still a great adventure in a great world. So don't misjudge the game. It's really good. So let me know down below what you think of the game. If you have been playing it, I really want to know what your thoughts are about the game. So that was my review on Final Fantasy 15. Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are, and feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time in the next video. I'm going to play Final Fantasy 15 and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Bye.